Okay. This July 18th, 2020. This is the Library Trustees meeting, and it's a remote meeting. In accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general law, chapter 30A 20 relating to 2020 novel coronavirus outbreak emergency, the June 18, 20 public meeting of the Library Trustees shall be physically closed to the public to avoid any congregation. However, to view this meeting, this is my third one today, believe it or not. However, to view this meeting, please go to facebook.com/LakeCam. You do not have to have a Facebook account to view this meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to review at a later date on www.lakecam.tv. Okay, so the first thing on the agenda is the secretary's report, and I know that Nancy. Well, first of all, I should say, who's at the meeting. So we have Ruth Gross, library trustee, and we have Nancy LaFave, and we have myself, Rich LaCamera. And we have the library director, Jamie. I don't want to spell your name wrong. I want to say your name wrong.
That's okay.
Okay, so the first item on the agenda is the secretary's report, and Nancy LaFave has sent us the secretary's report, and so I'll entertain a motion to approve that report.
So I have to move to approve my report?
Yes.
So
or I can do it. I mean, if you want.
Okay. Then I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion?
Jamie, anything?
Nope.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nancy LaFave, aye.
Okay.
Ruth Gross abstain.
Yep. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the financial report. We're getting close to the end of the year here, and I assume everybody's got a copy of it and taken a look at it. And I guess Jamie can.
Yeah, this will be the last report for fiscal year 20. Yeah, there's nothing really exciting or to report about it, just that we're wrapping up the year. I have some outstanding materials orders that will kind of use up what's there in those lines. And besides that, I don't have any concerns.
Okay. There seems to be quite a bit of money left in buildings and grounds. Is that going to be offset with some of the other?
Partially offset with that, and then they actually had to come today. They had to fix something with the HVAC. It tripped something, so we'll have some expenditures there, and they'll be able to take care of some of the issues that have been kind of ongoing, just tightening of the VAV boxes. We had been talking about this over time. Okay. So I think some of that will be expended on a project that was kind of already ongoing. The only real lines that I see potentially unexpended is really electricity and heating. The heating was in a good way, that we didn't have to spend that much this year. And then electricity, we're just under because we had a couple of months where we really weren't, we weren't using the electricity in the building at a rate that we normally do. So that,
okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you need to think about this, Jamie, that, we could, things that we haven't done that we should be able to do, that we can use some of these funds that are available?
The only thing that I thought of was taking care of the floors and the restrooms before we open. We tend to have that done at least once a year, where they come in and clean them and reseal them.
Okay.
They can probably get that scheduled before the end of June.
Okay. The library trustees have anything that they would like to bring up about the budget or any other recommendations? Nope, guess so.
No.
Okay, moving on. The director's report.
So for programs and services and collections, I mean, the building still remains closed to the public, but we've begun offering limited curbside pickup of available holds. We started that on June 9th. At this point, patrons can borrow the items that we have physically in the building, things that are in our collection, because statewide delivery is still suspended. I'm not sure when that's going to start. They might be picking up what we have that's been waiting since March, potentially next week. So they're hoping to be able to get that going again so we can start sharing among libraries. But for now, we're contacting folks when we had anything in our building for them, and we're scheduling times for pickup. So patrons are welcome to call us we can help them with placing holds on things that we have here in Lakeville, or we're happy to pull batches of items that may be of interest to them. So we're kind of in our phase one still. This is part of the governor's plan, which allows us to offer this service for now. It's been well received by the patrons so far. Everyone's really happy to be able to take some things home. And we expanded our appointments to every 10 minutes instead of every 15 minutes during the second week so we could meet the demand that was there. We'll also start promoting book bundles for kids next week. So Ms. Teresa will be preparing ready-made selections of 5 books all about similar topics, and folks can either call us at the main desk or give her a call, and we can schedule times for people to pick those up. We're still working behind the scenes on developing the collection, and we're delivering our programs virtually using Facebook and Zoom. So we're still going to continue with the online programming for as long as we have to, and we're continuing to answer questions that are coming through the online form by email or over the phone. So at this point, I'm happy to say we've gotten through all of our backlog of returned items. The staff we've been working diligently. Some of the cataloging has been done, so we're able to get some of our new items that were ordered and delivered while we've been closed. We're able to get those out to people as well. So we're making headway on the things that were kind of on hold for a bit, but now we're moving forward and happy to be able to do curbside for folks.
I have a question. Can you still put a hold on things that are in our building from your own computer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. There's a way you can limit to just Lakeville items on your search. And if we have it and you place a hold, what happens is every morning we get a report of the items that people have put on hold that we have on our shelves. The staff are going around and pulling those items and making them available for people. And we're contacting everyone at this point by phone, because one of the other things that's not kind of up and running is our usual notification system. Generally, people were getting those automated voice calls to let them know that things were available, or emails and text. Until delivery starts going between the libraries, it's still going to be a little bit of a manual process where the staff will reach out by phone to let people know that we have something available for them, and then we'll schedule a time for pickup. But yeah, they can do it themselves through the catalog, or if they have, if they're not sure what they would like, they can give us a call and we can help them.
Just another question about that. How's sales doing?
Good. I think they're for the most part still working remotely. They're probably only going into the office as necessary, but they have been really integral to how all of the libraries were able to kind of shut down, and then they helped folks doing some of the remote work. And then at this point now we're all kind of meeting and collaborating on how to bring services back up online. So they're actually facilitating weekly meetings for us so we can all get together and start talking about, I guess, the challenges that we're having and things that we can think about being creative, to do problem solving. And they've done a lot of work to make sure some of the back end things are doing what they need to do right now, while some of us are closed and some of us are open. Because honestly, the system was really built where we were all open and things were moving kind of seamlessly throughout the whole system. But at this point, they've had to do a lot of work on the back end to make sure that we're, like, these reports that we get every day, it's something special that was created just for this time. So that way we can see anything that we have on our shelf that our folks want. It's actually a more robust report than we generally get, because I won't go into the details, but there's been a lot of work done on their part to be able to support curbside for all of us too.
Okay, so right now there's been no plans or no guidelines from the state about reopening libraries at all right now, right?
At this point, it's looking like part of phase 3 of the governor's plan before you would even have in-person service, like which would include browsing or any kind of computers. We're all still waiting on additional guidance from the Mass Board of Library Commissioners about what it could look like. At this point, even some of the libraries aren't even doing curbside yet. So I think I see that happening for the foreseeable future. I hope to have some more information within the next week or two about what the next phase would look like for us. But at this point, it's really not until phase 3 where you would even get the go to have any services really beyond the curbside.
Okay. Anybody else got any other questions? Okay. Next on the agenda is buildings and grounds.
So buildings and grounds has been going really well. HVAC, the semi-annual service was done. The waterfalls are operational and the time clock was installed. The irrigation system issues were fixed, so we've got the water connection for the city of Taunton now again. So we just have to bring that up. The highway department's been able to take care of the flagpole area, and I have to reach out to Franklin. We've been playing phone tag a little bit about bringing the system back on for the regular routine that would happen for us at night. And like I said, effort to coordinate the grounds work. The grounds look fantastic, and with everybody else's help, has been really a good thing.
Okay. The waterfalls, are you running those 7 days a week?
I think he set it to what our library hours would have been, so it doesn't run on Fridays or Sundays. It's like when we would have been open. But if you want to run it every day, I can change the clock.
I think we ought to run it every day and run it from at least 10 in the morning to 6 at night or something like that. So okay. I don't know, Nancy, how do you feel about that?
People always think something's broken when the waterfalls aren't running at certain times, and they have been running. They think the pumps have disappeared or all sorts of other fantasies. So I think if we ran during those hours that Rich just suggested, it would make more sense. We wouldn't be fielding questions all the time.
Okay. Ruth?
I think since our grounds look so good and we want to stay within the heart of the people in Lakeville, it doesn't hurt to give them the weekend of the beauty of the waterfalls as well.
Okay. All right, so Jamie, can you change those hours when you get a chance?
Yeah, I'll change the hours so it runs every day from 10 to 6.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yep.
Are we on Loon Pond water now?
No.
Or irrigation? No.
Yes. Are we going to be on Loon Pond water before the end of the summer?
I believe I don't know if there's a time frame for it, but I mean, the plan I think is to get us reconnected back to it. I mean, the connection's there, but there's a problem at the pump house end. The signal from our system over there to turn the pump on is not getting there. So the connection back to the city of Taunton is just a stopgap measure, so we don't have any more time where the ground's not being watered. But it's not it wasn't really a long-term solution.
Okay, I know I knew that we would have irrigation one way or the other, but it's just that we don't want to send our budget line item for water through the roof again. This is the whole purpose of why the Board of Selectmen previous Board of Selectmen supported us doing this, so that we would not have to spend.
Yeah, it's because the box over there had to be, I think, taken out and potentially sent back for repairs or something. So it's just while those repairs are being made, so our system is not down for any more time, is connecting to the city water connection, which is still there. So
it's not going to be an extended period of time. It's Stearns Irrigation, from what I understand, is waiting. They've ordered a relay switch or something. So it won't be months. It'd probably be a couple of weeks maybe or so.
Right.
We're going into a time when there's it's going to be high temps, a lot of sun.
Yeah.
That slope that's by the waterfall is already brown. So
it's going to be tough to
I don't want
catch
to see us have to reseed or anything like that.
Yeah.
I have something about the Norris Garden, which comes under Building and Grounds. Okay, the raised bed, which was part of a Eagle Scout project to relocate the Norris Memorial Herb Garden, is done. We've planted it. Labels will be put in place this week. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that when you have an herbal garden and you have people who have some knowledge about herbs, they have a tendency to want to harvest. And we've always said that we prefer people would not, because it's a learning, teaching garden, as well as for visual interest. And also the fact that sometimes people understand what herb they're talking about, or sometimes people, as a joke, will move labels, little signs. So we would like to continue to have the public know that it's not a picking garden, so please don't pick anything that's in there. I just thought, let's get that out there on table.
Okay.
Did we have a sign in the old garden?
No. What happened in the past was that I found people harvesting, and I spoke to them about the town's liability if they pick something and eat it and it's not what they thought it was. So that we've always basically said it's a teaching garden and it's for looking, not harvesting. What people do after hours, we have no control over.
Would it be terrible to put a sign in there?
Please don't pick the herbs.
Right, this is a teaching garden only. Please don't pick the herbs, and then maybe a little skull and crossbones under it, or no, just joking.
Or skeleton.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else with buildings and grounds? Once again, we'd like to thank Teddy and his crew in the highway department for all the work that they've done around the buildings and the planting of the grass around the flagpole. Everything is looking good. Really done a nice job. I assume there's no further discussion on any bricks at this point.
Well, actually, it was just that we did have a few orders that have come in during this time, and I think the order was still pending. So normally we would have done it by March 1st, but started processing it in March, but with everything else that went on, we started talking about it this week again, like where it's at. So there actually are a few orders that have come in during this time. So we'll actually have a few more than even when, I guess, from the February meeting. It was kind of like the February meeting, there were a number, and then the order would have went in March, but now we've had a few more. So
okay.
My engraver
get put in at this point, I don't know. That schedule is off as well, but
my engraver is back in business, and he says that once we send it in, we'll go in the queue, and that's the best he could give me. But He'll get it done. So we will get the order out. There will probably be about, how many extras do you think, Jamie? 3 more?
3 more. Yeah, I think there were
So-
3.
I think 11 bricks, which is it's about normal, maybe a little larger order than we usually do. So that's nice.
Okay, Great Ponds Gallery. I don't know if you want to say anything about that, Ruth. I know that
We
nothing's
are,
going on.
we're in limbo. We'll open when we can open, and we'll put on whatever art we can when we can. Unfortunately, one of our artists who was scheduled for November, December passed away from coronavirus.
Oh my.
Yeah, which was quite a shock. And we've offered his family a memorial exhibit once they pulled themselves back together. And we've got a couple of years of waiting before we have a spot for them. But our artists have no choice but to be understanding. So it's all going to come together when it does come together, because we're dependent on the public to be able to view the work. It's not worth it to the artists or the people putting up the shows to do it ahead of time. So it's just a matter of patience and understanding.
Yep. Okay, as far as the board officers at this point, since Ruth is unable to vote, I think we should delay this until we,
Okay.
It's up to you guys, but.
I think we should delay the reorganization of the Board of Trustees of the Lakeville Library until next month.
Whatever, when the next update comes in, that maybe Jamie in a week or so will have an idea of what we're going to do about if the state sets the guidelines to reopening. So maybe we don't have to wait a month, Nancy. We can probably wait maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know, but
So until our next meeting?
till our next meeting. Okay. Anything else that anybody wants to bring up or discuss?
Yes, the Lakeville Historical Commission was wondering if we could meet outdoors on library property to hold a meeting before the end of June.
How
We
many
talked
are there?
just a few minutes with Jose about the feasibility of Lake Cam being able to tape it, and he said that he thought they could. We would have to be 6 feet apart, wear masks and things like that, but he thought it was something doable. But I told him we'd have to get permission from the Board of Trustees to meet on site.
How big a crowd is it going to be?
I think there's 5 of us.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't have a problem doing it. That's no big deal.
So it'd either be in the gazebo area or out back in the shade, but we would be posted and there'd be some sign to say that we were actually meeting.
Do we need a vote for that, or we just go ahead and do it?
I think because it's an unusual circumstance, I think we need to vote.
Okay, do you want to make that motion, Nance?
Yes, I move that the library trustees allow the Lakeville Historical Commission to meet one time outdoors on the site before the end of the month of June.
I'll step down and second that vote. All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The camera on? Okay,
Thank you very much.
okay, no problem. Anything else?
So we just want to say how things going with everybody coming back, Jamie.
Good. Yep, good. We've got a routine going now. Like the process for curbside, it's like a whole new workflow. So really this involved like retraining everybody on a whole new thing, but we're good. Everybody is happy to be back, and the patrons are happy to be seeing us, even if it's only kind of through the car window for a quick hello. But yeah, it's going well in terms of folks being back. And,
Excuse me.
and then, hopefully we'll have some more info and additional services that we could potentially offer in July. But
Just
so
a
far, so
point of
far, so good.
historical interest is in September, August, September, we have the 15th year of our opening. So we usually every 5 years we do something special to kind of acknowledge that. One year it was when the gallery had its 10th year, they did special exhibit, an invitational exhibit, but we've done birthday cake and things like that. So I think we should kind of keep that in mind if we're able to do it in the fall. If not, if we have to wait a little bit later, that we will be doing something this year in 2020, I hope, to celebrate the fact that we've been open for 15 years.
Okay. The other thing is that right now, the Lakeville Arts Festival is scheduled for October 3rd. And unless something happens, they're still going ahead with that, just so you know.
Okay, great.
They're going to cut back on the size of it, from what I understand. But right now, it's kind of in limbo until the state says, you know, you can have a certain number of gatherings and so forth and so on. So, okay.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll just step down and second that motion. All those in favor?
I'm Nancy LaFave.
Ruth Bruce abstain.
Yeah. I, Rich the camera.